begin. It's the win. Listen, laugh, and learn and understand. Hope, believe that you can. It's the Women's Information Network. It's the win.
Welcome to the Win Show. We are so glad you joined us. I'm Paula Fellingham, CEO of the Women's Information Network, thewinonline.com. We're the online home for all women, all ages, a community of women helping women. Our hosts today are Heather Anderson. She's a runner-up for Miss USA. Laura Lee Christensen is the Executive Vice President of the WIN. And Kim Coles is an actress, comedian, and speaker. Our guest today is Leslie Householder. She's an award-winning, best-selling author of The Jackrabbit Factor and Hidden Treasures, Heaven's Astonishing Help with Your Money Matters. Wife of Trevin and mother of 7, she brings personal experience through humor and heart to help families achieve prosperity against the odds. We're so glad. That was fun to say. Wife of Trevin and mother of 7.
I came up with that about 2 months ago. I'm like, that rolls.
That does roll. Welcome. We're so glad you're here.
It is so wonderful to be here.
So you talk about finances.
Yeah.
And what can we, I'm just going to read the question that's on
Sure.
there. What a simple, repeatable formula can anyone apply to have more success in their finances?
You know,
it was just easier to do it that way
Yeah,
than trying to make it up.
no, and that's what's so beautiful about this is that there is one simple formula that can be applied to improving any aspect of your life: finances, relationships, health, everything.
Ooh, I'm
and
all ears.
Yeah.
We're listening.
And you're going to find out it is so simple that it escapes most people,
Really?
and yet it's always there and available.
Well,
Yeah.
do
Come
tell.
on with
Yeah,
it.
let
Come
me-
on
I was
with
going
it.
to say, I want some advice. I just graduated from college and the finances are a little
Okay.
bit scary. So what do you tell someone who has these scary financial situations, especially if you have a family?
Oh, sure.
kids and
Well,
everything?
the first thing I want to share is, like, if you have, do you remember what it was like to swim the first time? Have you ever
Yes.
learned to swim, and when it was scary, you're thrown into the water and it's deep and you're not sure how you're going to stay above water? Does this sound like finances?
Mm-hmm.
You
So,
kind of feel like you're going to die.
Sound like finances.
well, what is the key to swimming? The first thing you have to do before you can really effectively swim, what do they teach you first?
Take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath.
Float.
Yeah,
Float.
kick.
Can you float?
If doggy paddle?
Can you float if you're stressed and panicked?
Oh,
They tell you to relax. They do.
Relax.
You have to relax, and when you relax, you float. You take
There
a
you
deep
go.
breath and you float, and it's the same thing with finances. The solution to every problem you're facing is only an idea away, really.
Ooh, say that again.
The solution to every problem you face, financial or otherwise, is only an idea away.
That's great.
So you just have to relax.
have to
Because
and
if
let
you're
it come.
stressed, you're not going to come up
and
with
know
these
that
ideas.
it's there.
And that's what I found. You know, I had a friend who, he was driving with a buddy, and as they were driving down the street, the friend said, "So, John, aren't you going to put on your seatbelt?" And John said, "Well, why? Are we going to get in a crash?" And he says, "Well, no, but you know, seatbelts save lives." And he says, "No, they don't." It's like, "Yes, they do. Are you kidding me? I was with my family, and we're driving along, and all of a sudden, something told me that we all better put on our seatbelts. So I turned around, and I made sure everybody was all belted up. And then as we turned the corner, there was a head-on collision, and we all survived because of those seatbelts." And he says, "The seatbelts didn't save your life." He's like, "John, I just told you the story." And he says, "No, it's whatever told you to put it on that saved your life." Yeah, so that's the idea. That's the idea. And every idea that we need in order to overcome our challenges is available, and it's right there waiting, but it requires that we relax, take a deep breath, and there's a couple other things that you have to do. You have to picture on the screen of your mind what you're trying to accomplish.
Okay.
You know, so many people, if you're a religious person, maybe you're praying, "Please save us from this financial hardship, help us, you know, rescue us from this." All the while they're picturing the disaster that they're trying to avoid at the end of the month.
It's true.
Cross purposes.
It's hard not
It
to
is. It is.
in
So
that
you
situation.
You have to see it the way you want it, and then allow yourself to feel it as though it's already true, because your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between an experience that is real and one that is imagined.
That's exactly right.
And those ideas are going to come to you in a subconscious way. And so if you've relaxed, you've pictured what you were really trying to accomplish, and you allow yourself to feel it, the subconscious mind is it's like your radio, and it just tunes the dial up to that broadcast on that frequency where the solution already is.
Now, I hear you say relax, and I'm thinking of some of my girlfriends in college who go, oh, I relax. I have 5 credit cards, and I can just put it right on there.
Not that kind of relax.
Not that kind of relax. Is this part of the Jackrabbit Factor? Is this what the book?
Yes, in fact,
Okay, segue to the Jackrabbit Factor.
There it is.
There.
Yeah, no, the Jackrabbit Factor, it's all about learning to recognize and enlist and tap into that gut instinct that's going to save your bacon in whatever situation you're in. And if you think about it, if you were to see a dog chasing a rabbit, picture this. Okay, picture a dog chasing a rabbit, but what if you couldn't see the rabbit? What would you think of the dog?
He was a little frenzied.
A little crazy, a little haywire, a little, you might think it's rabid or something dangerous.
True.
And so imagine, then it stumbles out onto the path and it's got a rabbit in its mouth, and then you realize, oh, that's what all the craziness was all about. Now, what if you wanted to go catch a rabbit? If you were to see the dog and see what it did, it jumped this way, it darted that way, it barked, it growled. I'm going to go out into the field and I'm going to jump, I'm going to bark, I'm going to growl, I'm going to dart this way and that way, and that's going to produce a rabbit. Will that produce a rabbit?
No.
What does it do to the rabbits if there are any nearby? It's going to scare them away.
No.
And so, you look at success like a rabbit.
Great analogy.
Yeah, it's huge. If success is your rabbit, you don't do what other people have done to get it, because that's just jumping and barking.
You see yourself as already being
You have
successful.
to see it. You have to see the rabbit. You've got to spot it, and that's what I'm talking about. Putting it on the screen of your mind. I mean, if I were to say right now, picture your car. Your car is going to flash on the screen of your mind, and if I were to say now, open the door, you can see it happening. Now that's as opposed to saying, think of your car, and you're thinking CARBLUE. You're putting the actual image on the screen of your mind. And what that does is it allows you to change the frequency that you're on so that you tap into those ideas.
This is very good.
Yeah. It's changed my life. It has absolutely turned everything around for us. Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about intention. And
Okay.
Setting an intention, is that the same as putting the picture on your on
Screen,
your mind? On the
yeah,
screen of your
yeah.
mind?
Yeah, well, and see, the intention, a lot of times people will say, I want my life to be better. That's a little vague. Your intention has to be clear. It has to be precise. I mean, we as women, aren't we kind of used to expecting the men to read between the lines?
Yes.
When we talk to someone, we kind of hint around, we kind of say this or that, and we expect they're going to figure it out by our insinuations.
Well, yeah, they should just know.
Well,
we shouldn't
yeah.
have to tell
If you
them.
really loved me.
You'd understand.
No, but if you're married and you've been married for very long, you realize if you want the trash taken out, what do you have to do?
Ask.
Simply ask.
What do you say? You say, will you please take out the trash? You can't just say, man, it's dirty around here.
But then you also have to add the now part. Not just will you take out the trash, but will you take out the trash now, please?
Yes. And when you're setting a goal and you're trying to turn this intention over to the subconscious so that you can tune into the ideas that are going to bring you the solution, it's important to think of it in present tense.
Okay.
So instead of saying, I will be out of debt next year, you're telling your subconscious mind, I will be out of debt, which is always in the future. I'm going to say, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am out of debt. And you're lying to yourself in advance. I mean, you're telling the truth.
No, you're acting
telling
as
them the
if you
truth
already
in
are.
advance. And then you start behaving that way.
Because I was wondering about that when you said those. Sometimes you're not really speaking the truth, but you're telling. But what'd you say? You're telling
the truth in advance.
in advance because it's going to happen.
Well, but
That's right.
how many of us are already lying to ourselves in a bad way?
Yeah,
I
yes.
can't do this. I can't do that. That's not telling the truth. So as long as you
that's
feel like
true.
you're lying,
That's
might
right.
as well make it.
So it's
You're
kind of
telling
that
the
thing
truth
until you make
in
it.
advance.
All
I
right.
love that.
I love
advance,
that.
yeah.
We have loved being with you.
Thank
You
you.
have so many wonderful ideas, the Jackrabbit Factor. And then you have a new book. Do you want to tell about that?
Yeah, well,
Tell the girlfriends.
we are creating the sequel to the Jackrabbit Factor. The other book is Hidden Treasures, Heaven's Astonishing Help with Your Money Matters. This one's a story. So if you like a story, if you like to get lost in an experience, an emotional experience that takes it from here to here, that's what this one will do. And then Hidden Treasures puts the meat on the bones for
All right, more principles.
Right.
Wonderful. Thank
So-
you so much. We've loved being with you, and we appreciate you joining us also. We invite you to go to thewinonline.com, where you'll always get solutions, share ideas, and meet wonderful women worldwide. Now live joyfully with passion and purpose. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time.
It's the Women's Information Network. It's the win.